Welcome back to another episode of the Loan Officer Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Johnstone. And before we get into today's episode, I want to remind you that the majority of funded deals in the mortgage industry come from referrals, whether it's from your past customers and center of influence, or it's referral partners like realtors, financial planners, insurance advisors, title companies. We have discovered that there are 7 pathways to get as many referrals as you can in your mortgage business. And we have pre-programmed them into the loan officer CRM. That's what it is. It's a referral getting engine. And we have built a power dialer so you can make more calls. We have pre-built all of the workflows, so all of the messaging is there waiting for you to customize it for you. And then we built AI agents to have the conversations with the people that you are communicating to help you generate more referrals. Now, we also include 300 qualified agents a month so you can get new referral relationships, and we teach you the 8 different offers that you can use to get top producing agents in order to refer you business and open up those relationships. So right now, go to loanofficercrm.ai. loanofficercrm.ai. You can also go to Google and type in Loan Officer CRM. We're in the #1 spot on Google. Check it out, read all the reviews, and then book a one-on-one demo with our team. They'll answer all your questions, walk you through the whole program, and help you discover whether it's the right fit for your business, because it's not right for everybody, but it may be right for you. And if it is, it's an incredible opportunity. So head on over to loanofficercrm.ai and enjoy this episode of the Loan Officer Marketing Podcast. All right. Hello and welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Chris Johnstone, and we are here with Jason Nichols from MortgageQ. So, Jason, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate you having me.
I am thrilled to be here with you. So, I first heard about what you do on the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, and just raving feedback from the people that were on there that had experienced the tool or discovered the tool at this point. But you guys are really new to the market. So thank you for agreeing to be on the show, and thank you for being here to share with us.
Absolutely. Thrilled. I'm so excited that you actually heard about us just organically, since considering we haven't done any marketing. So that feels good to know people are actually using the product, enjoying it, and seeing value out of it.
Awesome. So for somebody listening, what is it, and what does it do? What's the main benefit?
So in full transparency, I do own half a mortgage company called Trust Financial Group, and we specialize in non-QM. And so like most good business ideas, I think they come out of a need. And
Yep.
so with our focus in non-QM for over a decade now, we've found challenges just within our own call center. And that is empowering the LO to really be knowledgeable in non-QM is tough.
Yep.
To do an agency loan, I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it's easier. You can enter in some data points, run it through DU and get an answer. It's pretty simple. But in non-QM, we're solving problems. We have to be investigators. And on top of that, we're expected as originators to memorize 10, 20 different TPOs, guidelines, matrices. And for anybody, that's a tough challenge. And so what my partner Jeff and I did years ago is we built a solutions desk internally. These were very smart individuals. Their job was not to originate, but just to memorize TPO lender guides. And then when the LOs had questions, they would go to that solutions desk. Well, coming into the new world with AI software, I'm not going to say I'm trying to eliminate jobs by any mean, but those people are expensive. And so by us building out this AI infrastructure and application, Jeff and I were essentially not able to get rid of those positions, but relocate them within the company.
Right.
And so that helped our bottom line. So that's big on the broker side of things. But on the LO side, what we saw was just tremendous, because the normal workflow for a non-QM product is gather information, sound confident to the borrower, and then say, I'm going to call you back in a day or so when I have answers.
Yep.
In sales, we do not want to get off the phone. So by
Right.
having our application being able to run through almost 50 different TPO lenders in real time, tell the LO that they have or do not have a loan product and who they can go that with is super powerful when it comes to converting loans. The LO is
Yes.
going to sound way more confident. And even if it's a no, the customer that you're talking to is going to appreciate a no rather than let me get back to you or string them along. They're going to really, I think, have a better appetite to do business with you in the future because you're just honest and upfront and you didn't waste our time. Most people in non-QM are self-employed. These are business savvy people and
Yep.
time matters. So the sooner we can get them an answer with confidence is huge. So, you know, after July of last year in 24, number of our AEs were like, this is the coolest thing ever. Can I have my other brokers use this? And then so that's when Jeff and I said, hey, you know what? For the greater good of the originator community, we're going to spin this out into a standalone entity and we're going to let anybody and everybody leverage this AI technology to really empower the LO to do more non-QM. So that's my
So
long-winded answer for you.
no, that's perfect and super helpful, and it sets the foundation so that we can have a discussion about just different ways that this can enhance our listeners' businesses. So that's great. And y'all, thanks for listening. So, Jason, I'm a mortgage lender, mortgage broker. I have a call company. I'm pick up the phone. I've got a self-employed borrower or non-QM on the other end. Using your tool, I can basically go to the tool, punch in the scenario that I'm getting over the phone from the client, and it's going to output a list of all the lenders that fit the guidelines of that particular or customer. Did I get it right?
Yeah, exactly. And you're going to free it. You have the option. So what I'm going to say is old school. And what I mean by old school is like using the loan sifter or the OB interface. So everyone knows that legacy UI UX where you're just entering in attributes or qualifiers, boom, 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 and then it spits you out eligibility. We
Yep.
have that option if you feel comfortable with it, but we're moving into the more of a new school, and that's the AI. So we give you guys a full text interface to just have a full conversation with the AI and get really granular, talk about the other nuances that are in non-QM to really help you drill down and find that particular TPO lender that can help you.
And what information does it give you on the lender on the other side? So you've gone through the scenario with the client, potentially you have this thing open in the background, you've given it information. Then what information are you getting about the lenders that you can then talk to the client about?
So we can spit it out into really usable, clean interfaces. So rather than having up typical, like today, most originators will have all the PDFs and the matrix open and the guidelines, and they're doing Control F. And it's just this really clumsy process. That's all cleaned up. So what we're doing is we're presenting it in very clean charts, side by side charts. So we can say, hey, at Champions, you got this LTV. At NQM funding, you have this. At Deep Haven, you have this. And so it's really making it dummy down, clear, so you can really articulate and have a good conversation with the borrower on the other end on what their options are.
That is fantastic. So you mentioned earlier in the conversation that you guys run a call center style model. And I know this is somewhat outside of the conversation of what we're doing here, but I think there's value in the conversation because we have a lot of listeners that are heavy on lead gen because I've been in the lead gen space for a really long time. We're 100% referral based now, but we know a lot of people that are doing lead gen. And this product, if you've got somebody that calls in that's looking for a specific type of loan, either they call in from the front page of Google, they call in because they find you inside ChatGPT, or you've got a lead gen scenario where you're the first person on the phone and you've got the opportunity to work that deal. Your call center, was it outbound? Was it inbound? What did that look like? And how did the tool help you close more of that business?
So at Trust, we're strictly inbound,
Okay,
and we do all of our marketing in-house. And
nice.
so there's a little bit of outbound like usual. You have your nurture leads that you have to go through in the Shark Tank, but for the majority of it, it's all inbound. And yeah, it's really important because we only market non-QM. We don't go into the agency space. So it's really important for our LOs to be empowered. And so what's really tough, like Jeff does a fabulous job like on the operation side of it and just having a really good culture inside. But when we would bring on a new LO, whether they were seasoned for 5 years, coming from an paper house, to get them trained and on board with non-QM, it's a heavy lift.
Yep.
And just that alone was able to take hours off the onboarding process to get an LO into our ecosystem that's so heavy non-QM. So
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, it's really hard to articulate until you tinker with it, just how powerful it is for an originator, whether you're
Yeah.
seasoned or new.
And that's, I think, a huge differentiator in today's world. In 2 years, it won't be so much because AI is going to level the playing field. And we're going to have loan officers that aren't using AI that are just like I'll get back to you in 3 days isn't going to be an option that's accepted by the market in 2 to 3 years. And then you've got a loan officer that's powered by AI that's like, yeah, hold on, takes a sip of coffee and has a tool in the background that gives all of the scenarios, and they're able to give like real time over the phone back to the client. So a loan officer that's listening, they're thinking about that. They're like, hey, I want to do more non-QM, or I should be doing more non-QM. Where's the best pathway for them to go? Like in your call center environment and in running the tool, what's the most popular non-QM product? How should people start looking at this market and bringing in deals so that they can use the tool?
Great question. So there really isn't a particular non-QM product, whether it's a DSCR, a bank statement, no doc, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. Get in there and play because, one thing we haven't talked about, Chris, is the product is truly free for every originator. So we do have, paid options, but that's for our bigger brokers, someone like Go Rascal or Cornerstone, where they have 400 seats and they need to manage their LOs.
Yep.
Most LOs are independent and they're small. This Create the account. It's free. Um, we give you a decent amount of tokens, a decent amount of opportunity to run deals in there, and just play. I mean, you can't break the system. You can go in there and misspell things, and the AI is going to understand what you're talking about, and it will just really help you understand non-QM, and maybe it'll also help you on. Each TPO sort of has a little niche, and this bot will help you sort of understand and decipher what each TPO's niche is and help you in the future as well. So there's just so much value in it. And like, don't be scared. Don't be timid. It's the new world we're in.
Yeah, absolutely. Get in there and try it out. And I was thinking more along the lines of, you've got a specific type. So somebody that's looking at fix and flip or self-employed or that sort of thing. In the mortgage business, you never know who's going to end up on the other end of the phone when they give you a call. As long as you've got this tool, you're still able to have an educated conversation with them by putting the scenario into the tool and seeing the lenders fit.
Absolutely, Chris. I mean, it's really that easy. Like, it doesn't there's nothing outside the box that you can't put in this thing.
Hmm. And so what about lenders? Because you guys are newer to the marketplace. So those TPOs have got to be like, how's that going? Do you need introductions to more of them? Do you need more on the platform? Or like, where do you get the data from? What does that look
Yeah. So we currently have 33 TPOs in the system, but really, I don't have them in front of me, but I think I have 12 or 13 today that are really proactive with this.
like?
And
Okay.
what I mean by that is most of the heavy lifting isn't on the LO or the broker owner in this application. It's really between my staff and the TPO because every TPO has their own nomenclature, their own schema within their PDF, their own matrix. And so when we onboard a TPO, we have to map that and train that with the AI. And that could be like a 4-week process. And what we're having, surprisingly, which I never thought this would happen, a lot of TPOs find that heavy lift just too much or too cumbersome for whatever
Oh, yeah.
reason. And it's really not. It's really about 4 hours over a 4-week period that I need from their team. And I think what they're also the TPOs are a little timid about is, is this replacing an AE? Is my data being shared? Those are all valid concerns, but at the end of the day, we're not replacing an AE. We're empowering the AE. We're
Right.
giving the AE essentially a mini assistant to them. And since this product is free to the originator community, that's just more impressions. So the more time your company shows up in a result, that's just brand recognition. Um, we also added in a cool feature last week that allows the LO to just hit get pricing. And so what we're doing is they can select 10 different TPOs. They can send the whole scenario in one click and say, give me your best pricing on this deal.
Hmm.
And they can do that whether they're set up with that TPO or not. So there's a lot of cool features in there for the TPOs, but to go back to your original question, the TPOs are surprisingly having a tough time adapting to this new technology. And I don't understand why, because we're not trying to take business from one another. We're just really trying to create a marketplace and a community that is non-QM centric, that is very confusing, and it's tough to navigate. And so we're trying to dummy it down for the originators. So at the end of the day, any TPO that's in here will see some kind of value in here. We just need them to participate. So yeah, if your audience can help us by encouraging TPOs to get with us, get in there. It's all better for the community at whole.
Oh, sorry. I think that was on my end, but we're all good.
Uh,
We are back. So if a loan officer out there has a relationship with a TPO, they should let them know about your tool, connect you together so that there's the opportunity for them to get in there and get in front of those eyeballs. It's basically having digital conversations. And the thing that I love about it is it's good for everybody because at the end of the day, it's good for the consumer. The consumer is going to
yes.
get as many options as possible. And it's good for the lender because the lender is able to then use technology to give the best option, not just the option that they found that fits the scenario, but the best option for the client in the scenario. So the lender wins. And the TPO gets a client or customer from being on the dashboard, and they don't necessarily have to go out and find the business finds them. So there really is one of those win-win-win situations.
So Chris, it's funny you say that. That's actually my conversation I have to have with a lot of the TPO executives when they call in with interest.
Mm,
I'm trying to articulate to them, and I'm like, I've never been in wholesale. Obviously,
right,
as a broker, I sell to wholesale, but I know enough to what the wholesale AE is doing. And what they're doing is, for the most part, every day, they're cold calling 200 LOs saying, what do you have on your desk?
right,
I'm flipping that on its head. And what I'm doing is I'm giving these TPOs the ability, if they sign up with us, to get complete visibility on what LOs are searching for. They can
right,
see what the LOs are doing. And so rather than just cold call the LO saying, what do you have on your desk? That TPO or the AE can now see what was searched and call them and say, hey, I see you ran this scenario. What do I got to do to earn that business? So now you actually have something to talk about. It's a completely different conversation for the TPO.
yeah, that's incredibly powerful. So, Jason, that is absolutely amazing. And I would be remiss if I didn't make the announcement on this podcast that the MortgageQ platform is coming to the Loan Officer AI CRM.
Yep.
So we're going to be integrating together, and there's going to be a tab on the side of the Loan Officer CRM where you can click on MortgageQ and this pricing engine and search. AI powered loan search is going to show up right inside the CRM. And I can't tell you how excited we are to be able to bring this platform to more people. So thank you for being open to that.
Oh, ditto. No, Chris, I love it. I mean, this is exactly what we're looking for. And, just to reiterate, it's free to your customers already. So it's going to be, yeah, I think it's going to be really powerful. I think your team's, not your team, but your subscribers are going to see a lot of value in this, just all in one system. I mean, it's just going to be super powerful.
Yep. And our members are sincerely grateful. I can't speak for all of them, but we're grateful to have the opportunity. Now, this opens up a conversation, and you're at the forefront of this. You're in the mortgage industry. you are implementing artificial intelligence on the front lines with a product. There's a lot of people that are building in the background that aren't, in the actual market. And both you and I are implementing, deploying, and using artificial intelligence in market in today's world. And it's going so much faster than I initially anticipated that it would. Talk to me a year ago, and would we have a CRM that has inbound voice conversations, text messages, emails, automated scheduling, content being created on social media, autoresponders to social media comments, all of it powered by AI? I would have been like, no, there's no way we're going to move that fast. And here we are today, and it's happening. I mean, Elon Musk did the Grok 4 Heavy demo, and they are to the point where there is not a human litmus test as far as your standard university grade education tests that it can't ace 100%. Doesn't matter what topic you give it, math, science, physics, whatever, it can score 100%. I don't think anybody 2 years ago could have predicted that that's how far AI would be at this point. So with you being on the front lines of artificial intelligence, what are your thoughts on what you've learned implementing AI? Where do you think it's going? Just a general conversation about our industry here in the mortgage business and artificial intelligence. Where do you think it's going?
So you hit the nail on the head. It is fast. I'm very fortunate. I have a really good team of 3 developers. They're all here onshore. They're my my AI gurus that I lean on. But I love this stuff. I mean, I love technology, just like you. I mean, I take care with all of them. I got subscriptions to every one of these. Grok is my new favorite. It has been for a
No.
month, actually. I just love the voice with it. There's zero latency. I mean, I could go on a walk with the dog and have a full conversation and just basically ask questions like I'm in a classroom getting my MBA and just go through and like have this open up so many different opportunities to learn. But to get back to where it's coming from, you know, sometimes I get scared. Oh my God, this is going to replace everybody. I don't think that's happening. I think it's really just going to empower everyone to be way more successful, way more powerful, give them more time. Um, I sort of like the tagline that I've been telling people, like, we're taking time and cost out of every transaction.
Yep.
So
Yes.
I'm not taking people away. I mean, like Jeff and I, we still need to hire. We can't hire enough people. So it's
Yeah.
not people are going away, but we're really empowering someone that's new or maybe their legacy LO to just be way more productive and maybe
Yes.
spend a little more time with their family. So yes, it's scary, but I wouldn't be that scared. I just really embrace it. I think a lot of people would have a tough time embracing it. And stuff's changing quick. I mean, my devs, we're changing our LLMs all the time. So like right now we're running 3 LLMs on our application, depending on what task we're running. Um, that could be 4. I mean, it's constantly changing. I mean, it's the devs will come to me and say, Jason, there's this new model out. We got to try this. We got to do this. It's going to be better for this. It's going to be better for that. Um, and it's exciting. It's exhausting all at the same time. But again, don't be scared of it. Just really embrace it.
Yep. I could not agree more. And I think actually today's conversation is a great stepping stone for somebody listening that's like, okay, I've played with ChatGPT. We do a class every Friday. Every Friday at noon for free. We give the mortgage, we call it the AI Inner Circle.
But that's cool.
Yeah. And it's just like I show up and I demo a tool and then we have a conversation. People ask questions. And it's like I talked to a guy yesterday who is actively ranked on the front page of Google and being recommended by ChatGPT by everything that he learned just by showing up on calls and taking 2 hours a week to implement what he learned. Like it's just,
Oh,
I'm
that's
trying
so
to create
cool.
an AI roundtable in the mortgage industry. And we just meet every Friday at noon, but it's an open call. We have hundreds of people on it. So it's fun. Um, but in that, I see a lot of people that are just sitting on the sidelines and just like not even really dipping their toe in. So if we take your tool as an implementation of AI and peer into the future, you've got a loan officer that's taken, let's call it a 4-day workflow. Like it used to be, hey, I got a self-employed borrower. here's the income that's coming from, here's the other story that goes along with all the other hair that's going on this deal. You get this
Yeah.
huge scenario. And then, like, I've been in the mortgage business for like 2006, right? So I remember what it was like. Like, you would finish the conversation with the client, and that was the start of the job. Then you had to start pounding the phones, getting underwriters to call you back. Underwriters never call you back. You finally get the one on the phone. They're half distracted on the file. You're trying to explain the story to the client. It's just like this massive workload that came along with it. You've condensed that down to something that you can do in the background while you're on the phone with a borrower. So take 4 days of chasing underwriters in time and eliminate that completely. Well, yes, that's scary, but if a loan officer looks at that as an opportunity and says, okay, I just won all of that time to build relationships with real estate agents that are going to have non-QM borrowers that they can send to me because they're part of a real estate investment network, and you can go out and use that time to build those relationships. Well, now not only can you get far more applications in the door, but you can process those applications at scale faster. And likely there's AI tools that are going to allow us to process those deals more profitably as we do it.
And you hit it down the head. Absolutely.
And so if you're listening and you're scared of AI, know that it's going to be what you're going to make it. And you need the lens of opportunity on artificial intelligence. And Jason, congratulations on bringing a tool to the marketplace that I feel really does bridge that gap between AI and providing a solution that really does make a loan officer's life better because of AI. I think it's absolutely amazing what you built.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, just for another use case, we have a number of the independent LOs, and they're really get their business from real estate agents. So they might even go sit at open house. For the most part today, if you're an LO and you get a call on a Saturday from an agent that says, I have a buyer here at my open house, it's got a ton of hair on it, what can you do? All that LO has the ability to really do is just say, I'll get back to you on Monday. But
Yeah.
imagine taking that whole scenario, typing it into MortgageQ, and then it telling you how many lenders will touch this deal.
Yeah.
You doing that while you're talking to the agent. So you're telling them confidently on a Saturday at 5 p.m., yes, I have a home for this client. I expect I have 4 homes. I have 4 TPOs that will do this loan. Like, that's super powerful. And like that took all of what, 5 minutes when you're on the phone call with that agent. It's a
Mm-hmm.
completely different workflow. And just there's another, it brings you up to a different level of professionalism with your agents.
Oh, Jason, so I love this part of the conversation. This is why I love the podcast. So think of the scenario of going to, so there's real estate investment network meetups all of the time. So I have a buddy of mine who goes to one of my, he's in Miami, I think, and he says there'll be anywhere from like 75 to 100 guys that need these types of loans that show up at these meetings. Can you imagine having a table at the back of the room and it's like, get an insta deal scenario, thinking about a
Correct.
project, thinking about a deal. I'll tell you whether or not there's a lender that can help you structure this deal in a second, just talking to my phone, and
Yeah.
I'll help you find out if there's a lender out there. Like, imagine taking this and doing real estate office presentations. Like, this is the ultimate thing to take to a broker and be like, I want to do a presentation in front of your office where your agents bring their deals that have turned down, and I'll have my AI assistant analyze the deals and see if we can find a lender. Like,
Exactly.
oh,
Mhm.
this is cool.
Yeah. It's really powerful. And that's why I encourage the LOs that are timid or scared about AI, don't be. It's not
Yeah.
taking your job. It's just going to empower you to be a lot better and a lot more productive and make a lot more money.
Yeah. So, Jason, where do people go? I mean, outside of signing for free inside the loan officer CRM, where do people go? Where do they sign up? How do they get more information?
So it's easy. I mean, go to our website, MortgageQ.ai. You can ask a couple. I think we give you two. Yeah, we give you 2 questions you can ask. And then after that second one, we ask you to create a free account. We're not asking for a social. It's just first, last, email, and that's it. And then once you have credentials, then you pretty much get, I'm not going to say unfeathered access, but you get a lot of tokens and availability to search, more than enough. For the average LO, it's more than adequate. If it's a bigger shop, You need 50 plus seats and you want something more private label. You want more control over which lenders show up in there. We do offer a broker edition. It's very cheap. We're talking $1 a seat. So that's available, but it's basically free. I mean, especially for just a single originator, there's not going to be any cost. And of course, your customers inside of your CRM, they're definitely free.
That's amazing. Well, okay, so that's MortgageQ.ai. So
Yep.
MortgageQ.ai to go check it out. Again, Jason, thank you so much for being on the show. Any parting words for our listeners?
No, I appreciate everything you do as well. I mean, you're definitely helping out the community as well. I mean, it's really cool. There's not too many people out there like yourself that are really trying to empower the LO to do better and be more successful. So keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. To all of our listeners, make sure you subscribe. If you got the email promoting this episode, please make sure that you forward it to friends that you have in the mortgage industry that you want to see do better, because together we are better. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Chris Johnstone, and I'll see you on the next episode.